As of the last several days, much of the Cassini project has been classified. The reason for that is because of all the mothership activity that has now been filmed and documented in the Saturnian system around Saturn. We also have 1.5 million miles off of the South Pole, a 20-mile craft that has sat in a stationary. NASA and other organizations, telescopes have been monitoring it for 8 months. They watched its trajectory to us. It is now stationary, and there are craft going in and out of this 20-mile structure. I don't know any more about it than that.
Google Earth visually. So here we are in Google Earth, and if you've got Antarctica centered like I do now, and north pointing up on the little compass over here so that the continent is oriented just like this. See this little white speck right here? That's what we're going for. So put the hand on that and then zoom down. And as we're going in, I want to point out the nearest coastline is here, roughly 250, 300 miles away. And if you remember the giant holes in the Antarctic that I pointed out, I don't know, a few days ago, that's up here. And this is roughly, I think, 450 miles away. So just to give you some idea of where this thing is situated, that's what we're looking at. So we're going to go in and take a closer look right now. And this is it. Now, I said it was huge, and I want to show you exactly how huge using the Google ruler. So let me put this up here. Notice the units are miles. So I'm going to put the pointer right here, maybe, and drag this to the other edge. Length, 14.25. Now I think it's closer to 14.5 miles, 14.5 miles. I've just put the pointers in a slightly awkward place. Let's take a look at the width. 4.73. Now I got it down to as little as 4.5 miles. So it's basically it's 14 miles by 4 miles wide, whatever this is. Now my first thought was, is there anything else like this around? So, of course, I searched the entire continent, and I didn't find anything quite like it. If you look down here, there's some white splotches, but they don't have those strange patchwork striations. So to me, these are like reflections in the photos, something like that. There's one other visual anomaly here, this long, I don't know, translucent bar almost across this area here, but it doesn't look anything like the patchy mass up here. So my second thought was, well, maybe this is just some peculiar place in the images that there happened to be a gap. You know, when they're reassembling the images for the full image, maybe there was a gap that they had to patch. Well, I don't know. That's kind of weird. I don't think that's necessarily the case. If you look at these striations going this way, this looks like a very deliberate attempt to brush areas in somehow or something like that. I don't know enough about how these images are rendered. I said that before to know exactly what this is. But I'm not sure that's the explanation for this, because why wouldn't we see other images like that in the quilt?
I also want you to know that there is a very large planetary structure coming in, 18 degrees right ascension of Neptune's orbit. It should be visible sometime in the next year. There is an awful lot going on, and of course, you're all paying the bills, and no one's being told anything about it. Now, it goes far deeper than spooking the herd. That is really not the intention here at all. Okay, the intention here and what's really been going on is simply this.
Step by step, heart to heart, left, right, left, we all fall down like toy soldiers. It wasn't my intention to mislead you. It never should have been this way.
The government made some treaties, cut some deals for technology in exchange for experimentation and observation, and they were tricked. They really did not know what they were getting themselves into. And now the hand has been dealt. There are many people within the UFO community that say that all the extraterrestrials are benevolent. Ladies and gentlemen, it is in my own personal opinion and based on the knowledge that I have that that is completely irresponsible to say. We live in a duality. Because if it was all love and light, we would not be going down this road to global fascism and the powers that be wanting to eliminate 2/3 of the world's population. That is not love and light. Okay? So, we have a lot of things to cover, and a lot of things are going to be occurring. The economic situation is what it is. Mr. Green gave a fantastic presentation yesterday. There is absolutely nothing that I disagree with him about. He made a reference to buying gold and silver. I think that's a really good idea. However, you cannot eat gold and silver. It is imperative that you start storing food, and I will tell you simply why. If they do crash the dollar, which they are going to do, in order to create a global currency and a global government, you won't be able to buy food. He made reference to the currency being devalued 6-to-1 in the next several months. Gasoline will go to $18, $20 a gallon. Truckers will not be able to deliver product. What you have is what you'll have. Okay? It is imperative to, if you can, start forming within your community, community gardens, figuring it out. You need to start talking about this. I know most people are simply not open to it. Just do the best you can. I mean, we're all fighting the fight. Now, America is on the front line of this, and the reason is simple. America created a new domain of knowing. America was created to get rid of the old world, to create something new, to create individual liberties, to create personal freedoms. That was never known in the world before. And we have that. And because of our apathy, we have lost virtually all of those. And it is no one else's fault. It is our own fault. We have known since the 60s that the CIA has been trafficking narcotics. We know this. We have known that the CIA has been assassinating and overthrowing governments. We have known that there's been a cover-up of what there is on the moon and inside our solar system. We know this. We know that there is extraterrestrial life. We know this. That is no longer the discussion. We know that the government has become corrupt. Okay? The people, the personages that rule the planet are not us. They are not human beings. And I will say this with my very last breath. They are not us. Okay? Now, what happened was that they took over because they think holographically. It was very easy to get around the pyramidal power structure on Earth because it's completely obsolete everywhere else out there. So if you come in using a holograph, using holographic technology, but thinking, what you do is you create your structure everywhere so no matter what happens, whether one group gets taken out, another group takes out, is gone, the other components are still there to rise up and still manage and control because each of these components have a picture of the whole. And they have all the technology and everything they need to continue to control and dominate and brainwash. Okay? We're over our heads here, but we're not alone. Now, what happened was they took over. It was very easy to take over the governments. You dangle technology. You dangle knowledge. You dangle ancient history. And you give them this technology in secret. Okay? You have it. We're going to give it to you. The United States of America made this mistake. So, Bob Dean, again, Mr. Dean made a reference yesterday to the missing trillions of dollars from the Federal Reserve. Okay, I have been told that it's $24 trillion is what they carry on their books. And virtually most of that has gone into the secret space program and the colonization of our solar system. You can choose to believe that or not. It doesn't matter, and it doesn't change the reality of it. Okay? So what happened was the pirates took over the ship. Okay? The governments, realizing that they had all this technology and that they were 1,000 years more advanced than we were, instead of telling everyone, hey, we have a problem here, and standing tall and doing the right thing, they joined the pirates. We are literally only now, as passengers on the ship, finding out and realizing we've been hijacked.